Hello Aquarius, welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of January 8th through 14th. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. Now, we are going to take a look into your general energies for the week. It's very important that you remain open and receptive to whatever might come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. I can read the energy that comes through, but I can't always make sense of it. So very often that final step is up to you. Five of Cups to start us out today. So let's put that into some context using our Dove and Serpent spread. So I feel like there is kind of an emotional situation going on with you this week. By the looks at some of these cards, before I forget, mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, we're going to leave that right there. We're not going to look at it until the very end of the reading, so definitely stick around. And hopefully that will, tie the reading together and give us the confirmation that we're looking for at the very end. So we have some major, fire, water. We have fire, water, and some air. So it looks like what we're really lacking is the earth element. The suit of discs or pentacles seems to be absent from the reading. Now that could be that your kind of physical existence, your health, your finances, your job, stuff like that is pretty well taken care of. There's not a lot of focus on it this week. Okay. I think what's going on is a little bit more subtle, a little bit more abstract, a little bit more emotional. But the absence of the pentacles could also say that we need to find some practical ways to deal with this emotional situation, right? We can't live in our head or live in our heart the entire time. We have to find some practical solutions here. We have to remember to bring the energy down and express it through the physical body to ground the energy, right? Otherwise, it's just going to create the static. So what we started out with was this Five of Cups. Okay, I think that there has been a kind of a disappointing relationship with someone here. I don't know that it's romantic. Okay, there aren't a lot of water cards here, not a ton, right? So I don't know that it's really a romantic thing, but there's someone in your life that you're just feeling a little bit let down by. Okay. There seems to be some expectations that were set up. We're going to go straight to the recent past. This water sign person. Who is this water sign person? This Prince of Cups here is a card that I usually say has something to hide. Okay, or that there's something hidden about them. There's some secret aspect to them. They have an inner life or maybe a hidden agenda or something going on that you're definitely not aware of. It's almost like they have two sides to themselves. They have the outward-facing persona. They are very friendly, very agreeable, very amicable, probably charming. But they're harboring some kind of secret, some kind of ulterior motive, some kind of concealed agenda, some aspect of them that they're not really even trying to share. Right? So I feel like there's this expectation on your part about who this person was, what they were all about, what they wanted, what your relationship was with them. But I feel like because of their kind of their dual nature, because of this hidden side, of this secretive side of themselves, which, we all have, but it's a little bit more pronounced with the Prince of Cups. Okay, it's someone who is very... I think to you, it's becoming very obvious that they're concealing something. That who they are on the outside really doesn't mesh or match with who they are on the inside. So I think that's why we've got this Five of Cups here. This is a little bit of that kind of being upset, this emotional turmoil, not really knowing where you stand emotionally. You're just kind of on shaky ground emotionally. Okay, there's a lot of movement here, a lot of uncertainty. And I think it's because you believed that this was a certain person, that they were a certain way, they had a certain kind of vibe, certain kind of energy. But the more you get to know them, the more you realize that they're not really who they say they are. They're not really who you thought they were. Okay, and that's leading to this uncertainty, this kind of emotional turmoil that we're in now. I see crossing that path today, crossing this kind of disappointed energy is this Three of Wands. This is your self-respect, honestly, just plain and simple. This is your integrity. This is your strength of character. And this is the card that basically says, look, if you think there's something off about this person, you're right. Doesn't matter what the objective facts are. If you feel it, that's what is important here, right? Because you have this gut instinct, this intuition. You have this integrity and this strength of character where you judge other people in terms of the energy that they're putting out to you, the energy that you're receiving from them. Not that you're a judgmental person. Okay, maybe that was the wrong word to use. You can assess and evaluate people based on this inner standard that you have, this code of ethics, your personal set of principles, your self-respect. And if this person isn't who they say they are, or it just turns out that they're not who you were expecting them to be, that's the reality. Okay, that is your feeling energy, that's your emotional state, that is what is important this week. Okay. And I try to make the distinction between that subjective experience, which is the most meaningful thing right now, versus the objective reality. Maybe they are who they say they are. Maybe what you see is what you get. Maybe that's literally it. The point is that you're responding to them in this certain way, this Five of Cups way. So something, and it may not be through any kind of malicious intent on their part, right? But the way your energy meshes with them, or it fails to kind of mesh, right? There's something that's preventing that really nice harmony between the two of you. And that's the important factor today. Not the objective facts of the situation, but the subjective fact that the two of you just aren't vibing. There's something that you, in your intuition, in your heart of hearts, or whatever it may be, you feel is not right about this situation. Okay, and that I think is what you need to trust. That is your character, your integrity, and like I said, it's your self-respect, right? If something feels off about this, trust in that feeling, right? It's better to err on the side of caution, I think, in a situation like this. What we see above the surface, though, interestingly, is this Prince of Wands. So we have both of these princes here, fire and water, the two opposites. It could be like a Jekyll and Hyde kind of situation. It could be that you were really, you saw this person as this Prince of Wands, somebody very exciting, very enthusiastic, very ambitious, very energetic, strong, powerful, confident, outgoing, all of those things. But you're starting to see this other side of them, which is perhaps more brooding, more detached, more withdrawn, more depressed, more something. It's a black and white kind of situation, Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing. So I think you were expecting the fire, you're getting more of the water. And there's just something that's not, these two are just not able to harmonize and come together into a clear picture of who this person is. And so I think that your gut is telling you that something's off here. There's some kind of disappointment, or your expectations have been kind of dashed. There's just a kind of an icky feeling. And with the Three of Wands, I know I'm repeating myself. With the Three of Wands here, this is telling you to trust your feeling. Okay? Better to be safe than sorry later. So I think that's where we're at. Now, I don't know where you might have met this person. We see beneath the surface there is this Six of Swords. It could be that you met this person while you were traveling. It could be that you met this person in the course of your employment, or traveling for your employment, something like that. I feel like this was kind of a business-related trip. I don't think it was just a pleasurable excursion, though there could have been. I feel like there was something more business-oriented or more professional about this trip that you might have taken. It could have been a short trip. It could have been something a little bit more long distance. Okay, I do get a kind of a long distance vibe here. Maybe this is a long distance relationship. That could be what I'm sensing. But either way, whatever the foundation of this thing, however it started, this is kind of where we're at. We've got this fire, water. There's kind of two sides to this person, and it's just not vibing with you. You just get a kind of an icky feeling about it. In the immediate future, we see this Seven of Swords. Now, this is kind of going from the more general, orderly, analytical, kind of fact-based thinking for you. Your observation and your more objective. We said at the beginning that this wasn't really a situation that called for the objective understanding, the objective reasoning. It's more of a subjective thing. You've got this icky feeling. You got to go with it, okay? You got to take it seriously. So it kind of is your usual energy to try to be fact-based, try to be, observational and really take the objective reality into account. I see that you're a very kind of logical person. In the immediate future, we've got, like I said, the Seven of Swords. This is in the one sense not relying on your logic or your objective reasoning here. Okay, you've got to trust this instinct, this feeling that you have, this impulse, this urge, this, maybe it's a sudden rush of adrenaline to just say, hey, something's wrong here. You've got to get out of this situation. And that's kind of represented by this central sword. And the other swords around it are these little daggers, the logical part of your brain that's trying to convince you that your instincts, your gut feeling, this kind of subjective feeling is just, it's not logical. It's not reasonable, not rational. Don't pay too much attention to it. So there's going to be this effort to convince you otherwise. You're going to try to convince yourself not to listen to your gut. Okay? Because I think that's who you are. I think that's part of this Six of Swords here. Along with this being some kind of a distance thing, either a journey or a long distance kind of communication or relationship. Along with that, there's this logical left brain kind of part of your psyche, right? That I think is prominent. But again, in the immediate future, you're going to have these instincts, and either this person or your friends or yourself are going to try to convince you that it's not rational, that you shouldn't listen to these instincts or feelings. Okay, so be ready for that. It's going to be a challenge to your determination, right? You feel this instinct, something's icky, something's not right. Don't let anything convince you otherwise, or to talk you out of this feeling, or to convince you that this feeling is wrong, or inaccurate, or incorrect, or irrational. Okay? Yeah, it's probably irrational. And you know what? That's a good thing. Because the rational mind is not always correct. It doesn't always know what the right thing is. The thing about the instinct or the intuition is that it has, in some instances, it has the potential, at least, to anticipate future events. Not that it's like some magical power, which, no, kind of is, right? Our intuition has the tendency to know what's coming down the line, even if our rational mind can't really sort it out. Sometimes we get that feeling. It's that gut feeling, it's that maybe the premonition in a dream, etc., where you kind of know what's coming down the line. It's that instinctual, that intuitive, I was going to say intuitional, I don't know if that's a word, that can kind of see what the end result of things will be, or just a flash of what's going to happen in the next instant. Okay, so the main idea is to trust that. Don't discount it. Don't let yourself, your mind, your other people around you convince you that this is irrational and that you shouldn't be listening to this kind of energy. Okay, you've got to trust your own kind of higher intuitive knowing, and trust yourself, trust your integrity, your strength of character, and that's that self-respect too that it comes down to. We're going to transition over now to the path of the serpent, but I do want to say that the way I read tarot is these cards are always right, okay? But sometimes, being the interpreter, I might not understand your particular situation fully. So I would ask you to try to connect with the cards themselves, use that intuition, and go beyond just what I'm saying. Okay, really connect with the images here and the energies that are present. So, Path of the Serpent, Seven of Cups. I think that this situation, when it began, this relationship, again, it might be romantic. It might be kind of headed in that direction. I think there's some distance involved here somewhere. But I think it's something that you got really caught up in at the beginning. You kind of, it's like this intoxication, the Seven of Cups. Kind of, you got a little bit intoxicated by this whole thing, a little wrapped up in the excitement, in the drama, in the feelings. And this is just, I think, the general energy now. And there is the tendency with the left brain kind of trying to rationalize and sort out all of this cup energy. Okay, so there's a little bit of this intoxication with the situation. You're a little bit kind of wrapped up in the, just wrapped up in the wave of this excitement, this feeling, this infatuation probably. But yet there's still this tendency for you to try to analyze it, try to sort it out, try to make heads or tails of things. You know what I mean? It's the real logical part of you. And I think that's why you're having trouble figuring this person out, because you're trying to do so logically. And it seems like the Jekyll and Hyde. We've got the fire, the water. Something's not really vibing with this person. And I think that it's something that you're feeling, you're experiencing subjectively, and you're trying to sort it out rationally. And I think it's not something you're going to be able to sort out rationally. And like I said, you got to listen to your gut on this one. But you're having a little bit of an intellectual challenge with that, because the situation got you real wrapped up in your feelings. The Seven of Cups kind of showed up, and your general energy now is one of just kind of being, like I keep saying this, intoxicated. You're wrapped up in these feelings. Okay. And so the rational part of you doesn't really want to listen to this emotional part of you, because you feel like it's just kind of, it's kind of drunk right now on all this pleasure, all these good feelings, these maybe new feelings. Again, I think there's some distance involved here. I think it is something that happened quite suddenly. I feel like this is maybe mostly an online thing, or like over the telephone, because we have that Six of Swords, we've got this Eight of Wands here. I really feel like it's a long-distance communication kind of thing. And I don't know if the two of you have met, if you've spent time in physical presence with each other. That could be why we see an absence of the earth energy, of any kind of pentacles here, because there's been no physical connection, no physical presence with each other. And that could, of course, be contributing to why there's this confusion, this kind of upset, this lack of harmony going on, this icky feeling that you're starting to get about that person. So I feel like maybe this was a sudden thing. Maybe this relationship, whatever it really is, happened rather suddenly. And I don't think that you've known this person very long. I think it's been maybe a few days to a couple of weeks that you've known this person. I could be wrong about that, but I'm getting this feeling of like, with the 8, maybe 8 days, 8 weeks, something like that. Not a long time. Not a long time. And it's been moving rather quickly, I think. It could be that there's been a lot of talk about traveling, maybe that's kind of the next step, is they want you to go meet them, or you want them to come and meet you. And so there's this urgency almost. It feels like there's kind of a rush to meet up. But I think for right now, it's kind of the long distance thing. But I feel like they're starting to build this anticipation, or this eagerness, or in some way, this kind of urgency to meet up. Okay. But you've got this feeling to consider. Keep calling it this icky feeling. I don't know what else to call it. What we see next is the Lust or Strength card, the 11th mystery of the tarot. This is in the position of your concerns. It's your concern card. I think part of you is concerned about abandoning yourself to this kind of intoxication. That you're going to completely give in to this whirlwind of pleasure and emotion and excitement and passion that you feel. Right? This drunkenness that you've got going on now. Because I feel like maybe this person has this, because remember this Prince of Wands, this was the way that you've kind of been perceiving the person, or your expectations of them. Very energetic, very exciting, very enthusiastic, passionate, right? Just a real firecracker. And I think part of you is concerned that you might be losing some of your rational thinking, right? Your kind of logical left brain, practical thinking, because you're caught up in all of this fire energy and you're losing the control. You're giving in to all of this passion. This whirlwind of excitement is maybe you're concerned that you're not going to be making the right choices. And so that I can see is where your left brain, or your logical brain, your logical thinking, rational mind, is kind of scrambling now to try to figure out what this feeling is that you have. Is this just the fear? Is this part of this intoxication? Is there really something kind of icky about this person? And how do you sort that out rationally? And that's what we've been talking about. Maybe it's not something that your mind can really make a list, make a chart, graphs, and figure it out logically. It might just be have to listen to your gut and have to use that feeling to make the decisions, But I feel like there is part of you that is concerned that there is this worry, this potential for you to get completely carried away by this energy, by this drunkenness, by this passion, this excitement, this fire. So this is the card that's kind of giving up your power, abandoning yourself to this kind of energy. All right. What we see next, though, is kind of interesting in this. There's a few meanings here that we should talk about. The first one, obviously, with this Chariot card, this is, either you or this other person packing your bags and traveling, doing, meeting up that we've been talking about, But this could be, it could literally be that traveling, But I think what this is trying to say, more than, yes, you're going to go on this journey and meet up with this person, I think this is saying, look, that's a possibility, but pump the brakes, right? Because this Chariot is not moving yet. It may be all ready to go and may really want to go, may have all of its valuables in a little suitcase, and it's just about ready to hit the road and go. Just take a breath, take a beat, pause for a minute, and really explore. I wonder if this is going to be the Hermit card in that mystery card. Because this is, look, don't jump into it. Don't rush into something. Okay, this Chariot's not moving yet. You can hold off a little while longer and try to make sense, not logical sense. Try to explore this subtle, intuitive, instinctual feeling that you have. If something really is icky here, you got to think about your highest intuition, your self-respect, your strength of character, your principles, and use that feeling, explore that feeling, and see what it's all about. I keep trying to say, like, think about it, or but it's not the rational part. It's just the exploration of that feeling and really kind of sinking into it and seeing what it's all about, right? Allowing it to kind of come to the surface and see if you can get some kind of understanding about it. I'm really curious for that mystery card now. I wonder what kind of energy that's going to be. But I think with the Chariot, it's definitely, look, you might be all set and ready to go, but just wait. Just wait a minute. Nothing has been put into motion that you can't easily go back from, easily call it off, easily break contact, whatever you may need to do. That you haven't crossed any lines yet. You can still come back from this. So you can always unpack the bags and get out of the Chariot here. And the Chariot here is also about protecting yourself from these kinds of, any kind of negative influence from the external world. So if this person really is this kind of icky person, you're going to be protecting yourself against that. And it's the armor on the charioteer here, right? So even if you decide to kind of move forward with this and explore this relationship more and kind of let it build a little bit more and get to know the person more, you still have to do what's necessary to protect yourself. It's these two cards are kind of opposites in a way. One is the abandonment of control, the letting yourself go to this energy, and the Chariot is kind of the exact opposite of that. It's maintaining your composure, restraining this feeling, being in control, right? Being in the driver's seat. of this Chariot. Okay, so this is the two options that you kind of have. I know it shouldn't be that black or white, but I think the way your rational mind, your kind of logical mind is working, it's seeing things as black and white. You know, it's seeing things as either this water or fire person. It's either you guys are vibing, there's harmony, it's good, or something's off, it's icky, and you need to get out of there. It's not going to be that easy, I don't think. I don't think it's going to be that black and white, that either or. I think there's going to be some shades of gray here that you need to allow your intuitive mind, your intuitive thinking, your spirit, your instinct and intuition to assist in this area. You got to go with that gut feeling. Better to be safe anyway, right? Let's look at this confirmation card. I want to know what this one is. I was maybe expecting a hermit energy, maybe a star card to show that there's going to be this kind of this understanding that comes through the intuition and the instinct, you know, because I think instinct and intuition are very closely tied together, you know. I think they're both like non-rational ways of knowing or of understanding. But let's just jump right to it. Well, see a Princess of Discs here. So I think this is showing the potential future, okay, in a couple of different ways. And I think you're in the position now where if you are kind of holding the Chariot back, you know, you're paused, you're not on the road yet. We need to think about the long-term manifestation of this. What is the actual future of this going to be? And this is kind of something where you can use a little bit of your left brain and right brain, right? Little intuition and rational thinking to see if you can get that predictive understanding or that premonitory vision of the future. This situation that you're in now, just like this card here, is pregnant with possibilities, okay? But I think it's really, it's a matter of trying to look into the future. Get out your crystal ball. See what this would lead to down the road, you know? And it could be that this maybe has potential to be a really life-changing, successful, abundant partnership, a relationship. There might just be tremendous benefits and success and a really wonderful future with this person, you know, following this path down this particular road. But that's something that you have to try to understand, try to get some clarity about. And maybe in next week's reading that'll kind of come through a little bit more, is the potential of this relationship. Because right now I feel like we've just got a snapshot of where we're at right now here today. Okay? And I think this coming week is really going to involve you trying to transition out of the logical thinking and listening to your intuition and your gut a little bit more. And maybe you can get an idea of what the future would be like in this scenario, right? Because the Princess of Discs is usually a very positive card, very successful, a lot of great things, right? This moment is pregnant with just tremendous abundance and wealth and well-being and health and just rewards and pleasure, satisfaction, everything. So I think that this is the confirmation card, or this is that mystery, really, if we think about it. This is the unknown. What is the future? Is the future going to be this abundant prosperity, success, love, joy, happiness? Or is this just not really going to go anywhere anyway? You know? So it's kind of something else. So we have this original problem, which is trying to figure out if this person is really who they say they are, if you trust them, if there's this harmony and this vibe between the two of you. And then you also have to kind of ask yourself, well, what's the future with this person anyway? Where would this be going? Does it have the kind of future potential that you're looking for? So maybe we can avoid the path of the dove altogether if you come to this understanding that there's really nothing in it for you in the long run anyway. But that's up to you to decide. I don't know. I'm just, like I said, I'm just the interpreter, okay? I'm trying to understand what this energy is, and I hope that you'll use your intuition, like we've been talking about, and go beyond just what I've said and try to really connect with these cards here, okay? We're going to take a look in the extended see if we can get a little bit more clarity. You can become a member to the channel by clicking on the link in the description box. I do private readings as well. So just send me an email, leave me a message, leave me a comment, anything. And definitely hit the like button, please. Share the video with your friends on your social media. It really helps out the channel. This was your weekly tarot reading for January 8th through 14th here on Dove and Serpent Tarot.